Thanks for joining me to read Crenshaw again today. Last time we were talking about how they were remembering living in their car, so let's keep reading from where we left off today, okay? Chapter 21. If you ever have to live in your car, you're going to have some problems with feet, especially if you're stuck in the car with your little sister and your mom and your dad and your puppy and your imaginary friend. There are many kinds of feet problems. Stinky dad feet. The magic marker smell of nail polish on your mom's toes because she says she still wants to look nice, so please just deal with it. Sister feet kicking you just as you're falling asleep. The scratchy surprise of dog feet trying to wake you up. Imaginary friend feet tiptoeing on your head. I thought hard about the feet problem. Finally, I came up with a plan. What's the worst that can happen? Is how I figured it. What I did is I took a cardboard TV box we found behind Walmart. I smushed it flat. I drew on the outside of the box and the inside too. I only had 3 markers and one dried out when the cap fell into the back seat. So it was mostly just red dogs with blue eyes and blue cats with red eyes. I put stars on the inside. They seemed like a good thing to think about right before you went to sleep. I wrote, "Keep out Jackson's room" on the top. Mom said, too bad we had to leave our dictionary behind. He had a little trouble spelling the words. Dad said, if only it was really room. Every night I opened my box and slipped my sleeping bag inside it. When I crawled inside, I felt like a caterpillar in a cocoon. It was almost like my old room, where I could think without anyone bugging me. When Robin kicked me in her sleep, she hit the box, which was not exactly the same as kicking me. Unfortunately, Aretha liked to sleep with me, so it could get a little dog breathy. Also, the box didn't help much with the stinky dad feet. I knew we were lucky because we had our old Honda minivan, which had lots of room. I met a kid who lived for a whole year in one of those VW cars. It was red and round like a ladybug and just about as tiny. The poor kid had to sleep sitting up, squished between his 2 little sisters. Another reason we were lucky was because my sleeping box was just decoration. Some people actually live in boxes on the streets. I wasn't looking on the bright side. It's better to have a big car than a little one where you are living in it. And it's better to have a box in a car than a box on the street. Those were just facts. I wasn't like my dad, who kept saying we weren't homeless. We were just car camping. Chapter 22. I didn't think much about the cattail windshield wiper for a while. Things were so weird, I guess I didn't want to add extra weirdness. Our first night in the minivan was kind of fun. We drove to a park near the Golden Gate Bridge. A man had a telescope to look at the sky, and he showed us the Big Dipper and Orion. Across the water, the lights of San Francisco covered the ground like lazy stars. We were going to just sleep in the parking lot, but a security guy knocked on the window. He told us we had to get moving. And then he waved his flashlight around like a Star Wars lightsaber. We drove to Denny's, a restaurant that's open 24 hours. My mom knew one of the cooks, and he asked the manager if we could park there for just one night. He said yes, and even let us have some pancakes that were too burnt for the customers. We had more burnt pancakes in the morning. By then everybody was grumpy and sore. Only Aretha was in a good mood. She loves pancakes. My parents didn't have any work scheduled that day, so we headed to the public library to kill time and wash up. My mom and dad took turns staying outside with Aretha. It's dangerous to leave a dog in a hot car. The library had air conditioning and soft chairs. The bathrooms were clean, which was a nice plus. I never used to think about things like, is a bathroom clean or not? Whenever I took a bath, my mom would say, "Here comes Hurricane Jackson," because I made such a mess. One of my favorite bath experiments is about something scientists called buoyancy. Will it float? Is what I call it. It can get a little messy, but it's very interesting. For example, if you drop a mostly full bottle of ketchup in the bathtub, it will not float, but it will turn the water an awesome color. It will also annoy your mom. We stayed at the library most of the day. The librarian in the children's department even shared her sandwich with Robin and me. She had Ritz crackers too, and she gave all of those to Robin. After that, Robin decided she was going to be a librarian when she grew up. If the animal scientist thing doesn't work out, I might become a librarian too. So I think this chapter is really wonderful because we had some people who were strangers to the Jackson and his family that were showing acts of kindness. And acts of kindness are really wonderful and important. Like the librarian who shared her sandwich with the two kids because they were probably hungry, and the person that they knew at Denny's who let them park their car there for the night so they had somewhere to sleep and gave them burnt eggs. Aren't wonderful? It was still nice of him to share them for free for their family. So I hope you enjoyed reading those chapters, and join me next time. Here is your book response poster for the day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.